What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Now today we've got the all times 10s channel that I've been reacting to a little bit lately. Loving their stuff at the moment. But 10 incredible things you missed in the year of 2021. Look, whether it's been a good year for you, whether it's been a bad year, remember, firstly, the year 2021's coming to an end in what's the date? I'm recording this on the 20th of December. This will be out obviously before the year ends. So, firstly, if you had a bad year, it sucks, but just remember that it's going to be a new year. You get the chance to refresh, put everything behind you, look forward to the future, and just work on being a better you, being a better person than you were the day before, and just be a good person. That's all I've got to say. Try your best. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Enjoy your life, because before you know it, you'll be 75. So, hey, let's check it out. Here we go. What was incredible this year?
10 things you missed in 2021.
All right.
10. Take the money and run.
Excuse me?
No, we're not talking about the Woody Allen movie from the 60s, but an artistic installation by Danish artist Jens Horning. What made this piece of art hit the news last October? Probably the fact that Horning sort of, helped himself to the equivalent of $84,000 in Danish kroner from the Kunsten Museum of Modern Art in Aalborg. The museum had commissioned the artist to make a new version of an older piece of his for the exhibition, Work It Out, which investigates the relationship between labor and payment. As it was agreed, the work was supposed to be a frame filled with cash, provided by the museum. Turns out, Horning had other plans or changed his mind. Artists, they're so fickle. He decided to create a new piece for them, called Take the Money and Run. 2 empty frames representing the poor working conditions and wages of artists. Imagine the faces of the Kunsten Museum when they realized that the artists had taken their money and left them with empty frames. As museum CEO Lasse Andersen said, they actually laughed at the empty canvases. They still want their money back though. Reportedly, Horning has until the end of the exhibition, on January the 16th, 2022, to return the cash.
How no?
Number 9. Human Monkey Chimera.
What?
Sounds like the premise of a terrible B-movie.
Yeah.
Yet the Human Monkey Chimera is an actual possibility. Well, I dare say reality. Professor Juan Carlo Esprisa Belmonte of the Salk Institute of Biological Studies not only has a very long name, but according to his study published in the journal Cell last April, he also made an astonishing breakthrough. It looks like he successfully created an embryotic chimera that combined human and non-human primate cells.
What?
Cool and creepy at the same time, but why did he do it? First of all, it's worth pointing out that at this stage, the project only has research purposes. Belmonte has no intention of colonizing the world with an army of human monkey creatures. This said, the ultimate goal of the research is to develop better systems for growing tissues and organs intended for transplantation into humans. Number 8.
Hey, that's really cool. Humans, we are the first. We're like expanded monkeys. Like, all of us as humans, we all obviously have the same traits. We all have, our hands are the same. We have the same mannerisms as primates and apes and everything, which is, it's cool, but damn, imagine you could get yourself like a human monkey friend. That'd be cool. You get a personal bodyguard that's a gorilla/human. Hey, sign me up. Where do I get one?
Tasmanian devils are back.
Wait, what?
Well, it's not like
Tassie
they were
devil.
extinct, but since 2008, when they were declared an endangered species, the Tasmanian devils lost about 90% of their population in some areas of Tasmania. Surprisingly, for once, it's not directly our fault. In fact, the carnivorous marsupials most of us remember thanks to the Looney Tunes character have been plagued by a contagious facial cancer in recent decades. On the contrary this time, thanks to the efforts of the conservation group Aussie Ark, we've contributed to the preservation of these wild creatures. Maybe we went even further. You see, after 3,000 years, the Tasmanian devils, who once inhabited Australia too, are now back on the mainland. Experts don't really know why the species disappeared from Australia, though it's likely they migrated to Tasmania to escape from the humans' grip. Anyways, the exciting news is that dozens of devils were introduced to a 400-hectare sanctuary in New South Wales last year, and this spring the first generation of mainland devils were born. See, we can be helpful if we want to. Number 7.
Oh, that's
Lost
inspirational.
art of the Stone Age.
Makes me happy.
In Italy, there's a popular
Nice.
belief that whenever...
Although, if you're a Tassie devil and you're watching this right now and you come at me and you try to bite me, like, don't. I'm just saying, don't, all right? Tassie devils, I've seen them in person at a zoo. They are some angry little motherfuckers. They're just running around. They're always, like, going, "Rrr." They're always snarling. Like, I'm just telling you, if you come to Australia and you see one, you either run, or if it comes at you, you've just got to do what you got to do.
And
I'm just telling you.
Something, you'll always come across some ancient remains. To be fair, it's kind of true. Take the Romanelli Cave, for example. Set in the Adriatic coast of southern Puglia, the cave was first discovered in 1874. But due to accessibility issues, it took decades before the cave was properly investigated. In fact, the first Stone Age art discovery only arrived in 1905. Since then, on-site work never stopped, and we keep finding remains of immeasurable artistic and historical value. In October, a study by a team of archaeologists, geologists, and paleontologists published on Antiquity reported the discovery of new engravings. The event is sensational as the engraving techniques used are much older than expected. According to experts, this makes the cave occupation period from 14,000 to 11,000 years ago.
What? Go back!
Expected, according to
Bro,
experts.
so this cave, like, how did they make these caves back in the year 11,000, they said, or something like that, 11,000 years ago? That's a long time ago. That's years ago, How I don't understand how people used to live back then. Like, bro, I wish cameras and that were invented and stuff back then, so we could just see, like, all this footage and what people looked like and history. I don't know, it mind boggles me.
This makes the cave occupation period from 14,000 to 11,000 years
hold
ago.
Hold on. Did they just sleep on the floor? Like, that's what confuses me. Did they just sleep on, like, rocks and stuff? Like,
Number 6.
Gets me every time, I don't know.
4-year-old saved from a locked house.
Huh?
Sadly, in the times we're living in, when we hear a 4-year-old has disappeared for 18 days, we immediately think the worst.
Yeah.
Yet, luckily, such stories don't always end tragically.
Hey.
In November, Cleo Smith, a little girl of 4, was found alive and well after 18 days of incessant search.
Yeah.
Cleo went missing between 0130 and 0600 of October the 16th at the Quobba Blowholes camping ground, where her family was spending the first night of their holiday. According to her parents, Cleo was sleeping with her sister in the room next door, and there was no way Cleo would have opened the door and walked away from the tent by herself. Consequently, the police feared Cleo had been abducted and mobilized all the means at their disposal, including reconnaissance planes to comb sparsely populated areas. They ultimately found her in a locked house at only a 6-minute drive from her family home. A man with no connection with Cleo's family was charged for abduction, but the investigation is still ongoing. The most important thing is that Cleo is safe and sound back with her family.
Hey, this only happened like a month ago as well. This happened in Australia. That Cleo Smith, yeah, I mean, obviously, great news that she's, with her family now and is okay. But yeah, that was in Darwin, I think it was, Australia. Yeah, for 18, that was crazy. That was over the news here everywhere. Really, obviously great news that she's okay
Number
now.
5, psychedelic meds. This is probably one of the biggest breakthroughs of 2021.
Really?
The use of psychedelic substances to treat mental illnesses could soon be a reality.
What?
Now, as funny as it might sound to you, yippee, a free ticket to psychedelic trips? Studies on the matter that have been going on since the early 1990s are set to help treat devastating mental injury, and recent results are very promising. Studies published this spring in the England Journal of Medicine and Nature Medicine show results of the most advanced trial of psychedelic therapy to date. People affected with depression are quite responsive to psilocybin, aka psychedelic mushrooms, whereas MDMA, the active ingredient in ecstasy, together with talk therapy, appears to cure almost completely patients suffering from PTSD. Number 4.
Damn! Hey, I might have to get myself some mushrooms. Like, what's going on?
The dangers of the gig economy. The gig economy has surged during the COVID-19 pandemic, which has brought researchers to analyze the phenomenon, uncovering the concerning reality of drivers worldwide.
Huh?
Apart from dangerous roads, one of the most common issues seem to be insufficient payouts, if you're lucky enough to receive any, which leaves drivers to sink into debt to pay off medical bills, bike repairs, and loans. Rahul Singh, a 42-year-old former food courier in Mumbai, quit his job after he was hit by a drunk driver. His motorcycle was badly damaged, and even more alarming, the accident left him with an injured ankle and a limp. Did he receive any insurance payout? No. He claims he asked for it, but alleged his employers ignored him. Not to mention that the equipment and safety training are pretty much non-existent. Fair Work, a research project on the global gig economy at Britain's Oxford Internet Institute, reported this year gig economy policies are changing, and digital labor platforms hold the potential to reduce unemployment and inequality. However, these changes are not enough, as worldwide, employees continue to face unfair work conditions and a lack of benefits. Number 3. Successful animal-to-human transplant.
Huh?
A bit
Is that
creepy
possible?
maybe, and surely not exempt from ethical questions. Isn't it cool at the same time?
Yeah.
After years of research and hard work,
cool.
last October, surgeons at NYU Langdon Health successfully transplanted an organ from a pig to a human.
What?
Specifically, doctors attached a kidney grown in a genetically altered pig to a brain-dead patient who was sustained on a ventilator, with the family's consent, obviously. The response of the patient body was outstanding. The organ does its job with no interference from the human body. According to the director of the NYU Langdon Transplant Institute, Dr. Robert Montgomery, the event marks a scientific breakthrough. He and other experts believe that genetically engineered pigs could potentially offer a sustainable, renewable source of organs for severely ill patients. I'm not sure ethical questions will be solved soon, but it's definitely a first step towards a new phase of surgery.
Hey, that's cool. I like
the
it.
asteroids that shouldn't exist.
What?
If there's something any astronomer can agree on, no matter how many discoveries and theories we make, the universe will always be full of mysteries and surprises.
Yeah.
Like in the summer, for example. As reported in the astrophysical journal Letters, scientists at JAXA, the Japanese space agency, spotted 2 objects in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Doesn't that sound mysterious to you? Wait. The thing is, the 2 asteroids are red. And what does this tell us? That they shouldn't be there. You see, according to scientists, objects in the inner solar system orbiting around the Earth, Mars, and Jupiter tend to reflect more blue light. This is because they lack organic material such as carbon, methane, things like that. On the contrary, objects in the outer solar system, say around Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, tend to be red because they do possess lots of organics. Since they shouldn't be there, what happened? That's what experts are trying to solve. For now, the JAXA team has suggested the discovery provides new evidence that objects could form at the outer edge of the solar system and then migrate to the inner orbits of the system. Number 1. Developments on the Dragon Man
I don't know what that means for us.
What's the Dragon Man? It's a strange skull first discovered in China in the early 1930s by a team of locals who were digging to build a bridge near Harbin. The skull looked nearly human, but it presented an oddly elongated cranium with a heavy brow bone. However, we came into possession of this unique relic.
What the fuck was that? Bro, that is not human. That's they even just have a big brain. I don't know what's going on.
Cranium with a heavy brow bone. However, we came into possession of this unique relic only recently, as the man who found it secreted it away until 2018 when his grandchildren received it following his death. Since then, experts have been studying the skull looking for answers, and last June, 2 new studies published by Cell Press found something. The cranium likely came from a male that died at least 146,000 years ago.
What?
It could be the most complete fossil of our long-lost sister lineage, as it shows both ancient and more modern anatomical features. But where do we locate it in our family tree? One hypothesis is that the Dragon Man may have ties to the mysterious Denisovans, a sister group of the Neanderthals for which we only have a few remains. Some teeth, a fractured piece of skull, a pinky bone, and a broken jaw.
Ew.
So those were 10 things you missed in 2021. Did you learn something? Maybe we missed something. Let us know in the comments down below. Also, while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Okay, we get it. Hey, gee, that's gonna cap it off. Wow, the world's just full of mysteries. Yeah, I want to start reacting to more stuff like this, some more educational, you know. This is the stuff that school will never teach you, and this is the stuff that actually interests me and makes me want to learn more. If school had stuff like this, I would have been the next Albert Einstein, that's all I'm going to say. But hey, that's going to cap it off, guys. 10 incredible things you missed in 2021. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.